Welcome back to Tony's Board Life. Okay, just wanted to do this real quick. So I didn't want to do playthroughs because it does take a while to get through some of the turns. This turn was actually pretty short, but I'm going to do AARs for each turn. If you want to see how the game plays, exactly what's going on, please see my my other videos, turns 1 through 3. But I just finished turn 4, and not much happened, but the points are kind of interesting. So the Czechs actually scored, so turn 3 was very successful with the Czechs. They actually scored 10 victory points, and they have a total of 30. The Germans only scored 9, and they have a total of 39 points. So they are in the lead, and this is more of the Germans are probably going to win and get more victory points, but it's one of those things where it depends on how much they win by. So the Germans actually broke through in one place particularly, and then caused a little bit of damage. They actually broke through here near Convoy. So let me zoom in real quick, and so you guys can see that just a little bit here. So they actually broke in, got rid of this fort that was in here. So they've actually moved in and crossed the river. Which made it a huge. That was a big deal. Although the Czechs have now kind of reinforced Kernov, the Germans may want to go after that, but they may want to take out this guy here, and then start moving in here. The victory points there's no victory points for that one, so he may want to move down to Bruno. Because that's actually 6 victory points. So the Czechs might want to be holding up that one. Up here, reinforced Ostrava. That has no victory points either. And they actually don't have a strong enough force here to go through with that. This group was going to attack here, but they're like, well, let's hold on. Let's see what happens here. And so these two probably next turn are going to be going into that one. Now, the other place where there was some movement, and this is something the Germans and the Germans have been working on for a while here, is this area right in here, moving in, trying to get in Pilsen, which is 9 victory points, and he has to have both of the hexes to get that. But the Czechs have set up a really nice defensive line here to move forward. So this guy's just kind of holding these guys up right now. Kind of a sacrifice. They will probably give it in this turn with that. As for the Czechs, they kind of moved in here, lost a unit here. So they're slowly moving in on this side, moving up through. This infantry unit got a little brave, came around and did not do any damage to this unit right here. And that actually is now, this unit is actually technically out of supply right now. He did get attacked. I know this was a 4. He did get attacked, and he lost a step here. And he is out of supply. I don't expect him to last very long. He does have 6 movement points, but since he's out of supply, that cuts down to 3. So the best he could do would be right here to move in right here. And he doesn't have enough time to get supply. That is one thing that somebody had brought up, is why don't we move in, why don't they move in to kind of do like an encirclement? Problem is they have to get, the supply is not there. For the Czechs, it's great because they can just go to a city, road, whatever. The Germans have to get to a road that is not blocked by a zone of control to get back across the border to their towns. So it's one of those things that it's not really feasible for them to actually take care of that. So they are the supply. You really can't come around or go around then through the mountains. These mountains are really vicious when it comes to movement points. With that, that's the end of turn 4. I'm now moving up to turn 5, and we'll see how it goes. Great. Talk to you later, or see you on the next turn. Finish turn 5. We are now going on to turn 6. Victory points, it's still, now it's a 10-point difference. The Czechs scored 9 victory points for a total of 39. And the Germans scored a total of 10 victory points for a total of 49. We did have some interactions, some pretty huge interactions here, and had some battles. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So first of all, we need to go up into the north here. So let's go ahead and we're going to go up to the north here. So we've got in here, lost a full division of Czechs. They moved up. And then, so that was huge. And then also, the Czechs broke, or the Germans broke through here. So we've got 2 kind of pincer movings in, and we'll see how if we can get around here on those right there. So these guys moved in here. Now, the Czechs did do a little attacking right in here. They had a unit, the Germans had a unit that had came around, thought they were going to do a kind of a pincer move on this 8-6 division, but it didn't work out because that put him out of supply. So the Czechs came in and just kind of took him out. So they definitely, the Germans did take some hits, but they're starting to get in here and get moving as we go through here. We'll see how what happens next with the Germans and see where they want to head off to next. So with that, on to turn 6. Just completed turn 6. The Germans are starting to get a little more, doing a little bit more damage. So they scored 12 points while the Czechs only scored 9 points. So currently the Germans have a 61 to 48 point lead. Again, it's obviously the Germans are probably going to score more points, but they made major inroads down here, and it basically broke it and opened this entire area. So we got a nice going here, not enough here. Gonna pull these guys in down here to do some more damage. As for the Czechs, I'll probably have to back them up. We'll see what happens. I'm afraid these guys are going to get pincered down here. The Germans took a major hit in this area again. They went for it. They're trying to get this area cleared out so they can get down here, and they're still working on it. But unfortunately, they're in a fort, and that fort is pretty vicious. Again, this unit here is just holding on. It's freaking ridiculous how well it's holding on. So what I'm going to have to do is I've got some reinforcements next time. I'm going to have to put him up here and try to get rid of this 4-6 guy. He is in a fort, so he's like an 8, and then with 2 column shifts to the left, it really, really is a huge struggle for the Germans to get through. But progressing on, we are now on to turn 7. We have 4 turns left. Okay, welcome back to Tony's Board Life. We just completed turn 7. We are now on the turn 8. Victory points are as goes. The Czechs got 12 victory points and they're up to 60. The Germans have 14 victory points and they're up to 75. So they have a 15-point lead, minus some cities that are out there. We've got to get going because of the victory conditions. So it's 1.5 to 1 is a tactical victory. So we've got to get some movement on those points. Although the Czechs did take quite a few points on that one. I have finally moved in and got things going over here. Probably another turn, probably next turn, this unit will be in here. He's probably going to take that unit out with there. Hopefully we can get rid of that one. We keep fighting that one, and it keeps not going well. You would wonder why that would be such a problem there. We did not throw anything at this turn. Hopefully next turn we will, and so that way we can get this road intersection, so that way we can get down to this 6 victory point. Yeah, 6 victory points. I'm hoping to get these guys up so I can get into here, or at least try to battle for that one. So that's some serious. And Prague is 20 victory points, and so we'll see what happens on that one. So ended turn 7, on to turn 8. Got 3 more turns to go. Talk to you later. Bye. Just finished a somewhat successful turn on turn 8. Got rid of the guys in the fort right here. Then also finally broke through here so we can start moving into here. I've got 2 turns. I'm hoping to just basically hit for Pizen right here, or Pilsen, because that's 9 victory points. And that will counteract the 20 and the 6 here on that one. Not so successful up here. A little frustrated in that aspect, so a little annoying. The Czechs did kind of fight back down here, got rid of one of the Germans' divisions that were there. But I do see some issues coming up with the Germans right in here. The towns, it's only a city is 2 shifts to the left, so it's like a fort. So we'll have to see how much I can get around them, and see how many turns it takes me to get into that with that, and hopefully we can bust through up here as well. But victory point right now currently, the Czechs last turn scored 13 points. They have a total of 73, and the Germans are up to 91. They scored 16 points. They're starting to really take pieces out of the Czechs on this one. If we get to a 1-1 tie, looks like it may be 1-1. I don't see so right now the difference is 20 or 18. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it works out with this scheduling. So on to turn 9, and let's get on it. So not much happened on turn 9 and 10 other than a few failed attacks. There's no way he was going to get to Prague in time to attack and get the 20 points. And these units right here, he built this up. There's no way. There's not a result big enough for them to take over that. So, and Bruno right here was going to go away. So the points, so not much happened, but I did want to go over the point totals. So after doing all the point totals, the Germans had 138 and the Czechs had 118. So that only leaves a 20 point. So in that case, it would be a 1-1. It'd be considered a 1-1, I think. It's either, okay. Yeah, let me see how this looks here. So okay, at the end of the players complete total rounding fractions down. So yeah, it will be a 1-1, which will be a draw. An armistice is signed and the frontier is fortified along with its existing front lines. The war remains unfinished and will resume within the next few years. So basically it just delayed what would eventually be the inevitable. Honestly, probably another couple turns, and yeah, I think this would fall eventually, and then move over to Prague. So another couple turns it would have done. Now, I did notice one thing I did not do, which I don't know, it probably would change, was I never used the reserve units here, which is kind of crazy. I was supposed to roll, and if I got a 1 or a 2 at the beginning of the movement turn, 1 would come in and I could put it anywhere on the map. That might have been good to go up here. So there are some tactical things that I missed out on big time. So don't take it for what it is. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot harder than I thought, mainly because you have to attack the forts. The way the supply rule works, if you get out too far and let's say you're a mech, you can't get back to a road that gets back to a town, then you're in trouble. So you really couldn't go around, or you couldn't make like an end around in through here and out, because of the way you have to be basically within 5 hexes of a road, depending your movement points within a road, and all this rough terrain is 3 movement points, and mechs prohibited, so mechs couldn't even get through that. Germans have a lot of mechanized. And it's 3 movement points, and most of the non-movement points here have 6. Are 6 movement points. So that's literally 2 hexes. So the way the mountains are set up, you pretty much will have to. This is a quagmire that I don't know how I'd even approach that. So maybe in the future I'll go through and put this all together, play it again. The rules are really easy. I mean, seriously, there's like, when it comes to actual rules, 6 pages of rules. Yeah, 6 pages of rules. There are some historical scenarios, German historical scenarios that you could work out. So I think I used that, but definitely thought it was fun, interesting idea. The one thing that, as I was reading the article that came with this S&T magazine, is they're assuming that all the Czechs would join and put their effort in defending. The thing is, there were a lot of ethnic Germans in this area of Czechoslovakia. And there's no guarantee they would have fought for the Czechs. They may have even done stuff, guerrilla, insurgent against the Czechs to sabotage. There were plenty of Czechs there to fight, but would it have been able to stop the German army? I don't know. So definitely a thumbs up. If you're interested in it, I'd find it generally, I think they're pretty inexpensive out there on the secondhand market. But really good job on this one. And hopefully I'll get more out to you, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great one. Bye.